My name is actually Michael Semick. Thank you very much. All right, so as eloquently stated here, digital and physical convergence it's the new frontier. And the question in my mind and the work that we do at Prime8 Consulting is all about strategy and innovation. So we're looking at why are we doing this, and then we look at the how we're doing it. So I want to walk through a little bit of my journey in IoT and talk about the questions and answer a couple of questions and leave you some words of wisdom, I hope, if you move into IoT in your own work and life, that you'll keep these things in mind. So do we need smart chairs? Maybe. Okay, are we clicking? There we go. All right, sorry. My fumble fingers. All right, so this is an actual product in the marketplace. This is a smart toaster. It's fairly expensive. You can control it via your smartphone. It's got a lot of great technology in it. The question is, do we really need smart toasting, right? And so the work that I do around IoT and convergence is all about the experience for the consumer. It's for the end users of products. What is that experience for them, and how is it making their life better? How is it making their experience better? So one of the projects I've done was a company called Talargo. It was a startup in Europe, and they were well funded, and we were building a worldwide platform for logistics. One of the core pieces of this was a device, a connected device, to turn non-smart things into smart things. So you install this in boats, cars, trucks, buses, all of these things, and it's not limited to vehicles. It could also be shipping containers, and you have a suite of sensors that connects into this device, and then that communicates to the internet where it's all warehoused, and then you can manage, track, optimize, and load balance whatever it is, be that people, goods, okay? And so this was an example of something that we enabled, which was a smart bus stop. And so what you have is a bus that has the technology on it. The technology is speaking to GPS, you know the location. The bus is talking to the internet. The bus is talking to the bus stop. The personal phone, the device that the person has in their hand, is talking to the bus stop, and it's also understanding where the bus is in relation to all the other transport happening in the area. In addition, it's all being warehoused back where you have a wealth of data to then optimize, track, and understand how do you make the trip better for them. Okay, so it's all about impacting them and making it a smoother, easier experience for them in their life. So this was one of the deployments. I traveled all around the world setting up MVNOs, so that's mobile virtual network operators, to transport data from all of these devices. And they're all across, they're in the vehicles in several different places. So that's a smart screen. And here we have telematics associated. We have displays that are inside and outside the bus, all displaying information that it's web enabled. It's all traveling through the internet and back around again to give you real-time updated information about your trip. So across these connected devices, it's before you get on the bus. You understand where the bus is. You know where the stops are. You have a lot of information available to you. During your trip, it's assisting you, and after your trip as well. You understand where you've been, how you've gotten there. Maybe there's a better bus to take next time. And the passengers, drivers, all of these people all touch this ecosystem. So the Internet of Things has spread throughout business and life, and it's gaining momentum. So this is Cairo, Egypt. This is one of the places that I went to go negotiate contracts for the government of Egypt. They wanted to use this system for their transportation systems and government vehicles. This was the traffic I encountered. It was not a fun event to go from my hotel to where the business meeting was on a street very similar to this. So a little personal anecdote in relation to this particular event. So it turns out that the government had assigned the contract to the relative of a high-ranking government minister. And so we had to negotiate with this person. So I was dropped off by my car on a street very much like this, and I wound my way through and found the building and ended up in a very swanky layout and hidden up in all this mess, and had a conversation. We talked about everything we were doing. It seemed to be we were in agreement. And then he pushed a suitcase underneath the desk towards me and said essentially in brief language, fill this suitcase and we'll do business. So as you can see, we did not do business in Egypt. Okay, now I'll move on quickly. People as connected devices. It's coming to you. Maybe not subcutaneously right away, but wearables are becoming the Internet of Things and all the connectivity that comes from that. This is Disney. I did a project with Disney. I was one of the architects of the Magic Band system. I don't know if you've been to Disney or worn the bands, but I helped design and implement that system. And what it is, it's both a contained ecosystem of IoT and a very far-reaching ecosystem of IoT. It's essentially enabling virtually everything in the park, including the people, to all be connected to enable better experiences. And the point of it all was personalization. Disney understands that personalization is the key to making connections to people and to giving them a good experience. And so this entire thing, almost $1 billion, was all around making that person's experience personal. You can see the happy faces. She's using the band right now, but it's not just entering the park. It's making purchases. It's getting into your room. It's across the entire cruise ships, hotels, restaurants. It's worldwide, and it's all connected. Boop, 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 boop. All right, hopefully I can get a question in. So we did the entire infrastructure of the park, was modified, sensors going in everywhere, antennas going in everywhere, designing experience around IoT, understanding where you are at that moment, understanding who you are, and having personal things happen for you. We explored the connected toys, going from the home to the park. The toy knows that you're in the park and has responses for you. We didn't implement this. There was too much of a little bit of an ick factor going on, but it's definitely on the minds, and people are trying to figure out how to do it. And back to the toaster. Do we really need internet-connected toasters? That toaster's been in operation a long time. But consider this. Consumer acceptance is based on the perception of higher value, okay? And it's proven. People will give up a little bit of their privacy in order to get that personalization. People value that. So base your thinking on IoT around the experience that people will have. Thank you. We have about 30 seconds. Anybody? Question? In the back?
On the first bus example, and I always think keep it simple.
Yep.
And I see that, and I see that costs probably 3 times as much to implement as one bus alone. The bus feature is the same, the cloud is the same, but you don't have anything in the bus stop, which is probably really expensive and also very easy to get damaged.
Yep.
What's the value proposition over something much simpler like?
There's a culture proponent in this as well. So that fancy bus stop you saw was in France. And so they have already in their culture these very elaborate bus stops with a lot of features, right? And so it's just simply connecting that and then bringing in all the telematics to make the travel experience better. And so it does vary culture to culture. In certain, around the US, you wouldn't find something so elaborate. Hong Kong, you would. Question? We're done? All right.